Hey guys, welcome to the podcast this week.
Yay!
I'm your host, Nightmari.
Hello.
We're doing this live.
We're doing it live.
And I'm unenthusiastic.
Jason, do that thing you did like an hour
Woo!
ago.
Jason's indifferent.
Where you like fucking said we're doing it live, but in a cool way.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Why? You did it once.
Because that was for the stream. I didn't know we were doing this live.
Oh, well, don't be a fucking pansy.
So yeah, I guess I'm taking this week off.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah,
Right,
sorry, I
so,
didn't hear
uh,
Jason.
Welcome to episode number 30. Yep, so episode 30 of the podcast, guys. We're doing it live.
Is this fucking
Yay.
30, really? I thought this was 29. Alright. I got cinnamon
No.
on my phone.
I'm surprised you didn't get cinnamon everywhere.
I did, but I cleaned it up, and it turns out I got some on my phone, too. I'm guessing I got some in my pocket somehow.
That is pretty gross. Anyway, I'm your host,
that'd be
Nightmari, joined by our fudge-eating kitty.
Kisty, what's up?
That sounds like a cat that poops in the cat box and then eats it.
What the
Wow.
You are
fuck?
so
You
gross.
said fudge eating cookie, and that was the first thing I thought of. I'm 12 years old. I'm sorry.
And let's see here. And our newly acquired internet user.
Oh, is that me?
Jason,
That'd be
that's
Jason.
you. That's you,
Okay.
Jason.
Jason, that's you because you actually got internet now.
Oh, okay. I was like, how is that my intro? I don't understand the things.
And our otter who almost committed suicide live.
I did not almost commit suicide live. I committed
Yeah.
suicide and then I rage quit suicide.
I rage quit suicide.
I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna kill myself, self. I was talking to myself about it.
Sure.
I call myself self
Self?
sometimes. Also known as Hoorah.
Congratulations, you talked to yourself.
Doesn't everybody?
Eventually.
It's okay.
Eventually.
Like, it's okay until you answer yourself. Oh, I got fucking, like, Coke on my screen still. It's all sticky and colory.
Rubbing alcohol.
Fuck it. You know what? I'll clean it up later. Fuck it. I don't care.
And coloring.
Alright, so we should probably explain.
You
So, to those of you listening, not live, who are just perform the cinnamon challenge live.
Oh man, I got mentos stuck on the bottom. How am I gonna eat those? Fuck. Alright, I'll get them eventually, don't worry.
And did my Mentos challenge.
Yes.
How are you going to? No, better question. How are you going to explain this to your parents who are going
because
to see the now gone
No,
bottle
he's gone all weekend. I
of
just
soda?
drank this over the weekend.
Okay, that works.
Come on, Jason.
That
I'm a
works.
fucking pro. I know how to backpedal and excuse myself.
He knows how to backpedal.
Kind of.
Not really. Right. So,
No.
who's got shit to
Okay,
talk
Fudge
about?
is
The
gone.
last time I drank this, it was real Coke, and it tasted more minty than this. This still has some Coke flavor. Kind of happy about that. It's like
Well, it's not really Coke flavor, it's cola flavor.
it's like cola with a hint of mint, so it's kind of like Christmassy, you know. The holidays.
Well, I would have a topics list for us all to discuss through, but
So, since we don't have a topic list, I'm gonna bring up something that I brought up a very, very long time ago that we never really resolved.
Fuck. Is it the
What
Walking...
is it?
Please be the Walking Dead.
No, the Hulk Hogan sex tape.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, God.
I'm so tired of hearing about this. Every fucking week,
Okay.
Jason.
We only
Every
talked
fucking
about it
week.
once.
Alright.
oh my god.
You only talked about
I-
it once, but you brought it up.
I don't know, but
Yeah, but we've referenced it how many times?
we're doing it in front of a chat, and they're all just like Hogan, Hogan.
Except for Tesseract, she's just sad she missed me.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out that apparently the sex tape was made without Hulk Hogan's knowledge, and the guy Bubba the Love Sponge recorded it without his knowledge and prostituted his wife.
What?
Yeah, prostituted his wife out to the Hulkster. Because
What the hell?
at the actual end of the video, like somebody found the original video. He comes in after everything's done, like Hogan leaves, and comes in and he goes, "If we ever want to retire, we just put this on the internet." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Jesus Christ, that's...
Wow.
Wow. That's something, Jason.
Because if...
I'm sure you were very closely tied to this story. Like, your eyes were scanning all over the internet for this.
It was kind of sad when you sit and think about it. You're like, oh man, he did that to his buddy. That's not cool.
That's not cool, dude. You don't.
that is not cool.
You don't videotape your wife banging your best friend.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
That escalated a little too
So,
quickly.
moving on. Walking Dead.
Yeah, we can do Walking Dead.
Jason?
Yeah, Jason, you played
Yeah,
through
let's
all
talk
5
Walking
episodes
Dead.
in a day because you did something.
Yeah.
So, how are your feels?
My feels are fine because...
Fuck you, Jason. Fuck you. Your feels should not be fine.
They
Here's
should
the
not be
problem,
fine.
I here's the thing about me that I really need to address that a lot of people don't realize. Because I went to film school, and I blame it on film school, by the way. Because I went to film school and we're taught all the aspects of film, pretty much. I see things coming now. Like, ever since I got out of school, even when I was in school, I had this almost inane, built-in quality to see things coming. And while I was very, it's The Walking Dead, no one ever gets out alive. That's the whole point of the show, and the game. Even though I didn't see everything coming, the actual ending, like the last segment you play, I saw coming from the end of episode 4. Like, from that point, it was... Are we doing spoilers here, by the way?
Might as well.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm gonna warn those in the chat. If you guys want to avoid spoilers, leave now.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
But yeah, we're gonna go into spoilers because I cut Hurrah off last week about it.
7,
I hadn't watched Fragger's
6, 5,
stream of it, and
4,
I
3,
still haven't watched it. So
2, 1. Alright, we're spoiling now.
Okay, when you have to shoot Lee as Clementine, I totally saw that coming. That didn't even affect me at all because I was like, oh, well, he got bit. Clementine's gonna have to kill him. It's not gonna be Kenny. It's not gonna be anybody else. Clementine's gonna be the one who kills him.
Jason, Fragger's right. You are a monster.
You know why he said that? Because
You're a monster.
Because I played through it 2 times already, and I kept in one playthrough I kept Carly alive, and in the other one I kept Doug alive. And he called me a
Doug
monster
die?
because in one playthrough I kept Doug alive.
How does Doug
You
die
monster.
later?
Yeah, that's really all it was. And then he was like, oh man, every decision you make, you just prove you're a monster. And I was like, no, I don't. I prove that I have a brain and I want to survive this thing.
Explaining why you aren't a monster makes you a monster. But, dude, seriously, you didn't, have any teary moments at the end of the episode?
No, okay. There were a lot of things that affected me in very real ways. But those were the things that led to the end of the story. A lot of people are yelling at me because the end of the story didn't get to me. It's because I saw it coming. Everything...
Everyone
Did you see the
saw it
Camp Man coming?
Jason, you saw it coming at the same time everyone else in the world saw it coming.
Yes.
That does not mean it's going to be any less sad or terrifying or, deadly feels killer.
No. Well, okay, I guess. But, I didn't see the dude with the minivan. That was kind of shocking. I didn't see...
Yeah, nobody saw that coming.
I didn't see Kenny dying. That took me for a loop. I saved Ben, so Ben dying freaked me out because I'd worked so hard to save him and make him redeem himself. I really would like to know what happens to that couple you meet in, episode 3.
Oh, meeting Krista? Fucking pregnant bitch.
Whoa!
Leave Krista alone, man.
I really liked her.
He hates
I
Krista
really
for some
liked
reason.
them.
I liked Omid.
Yeah, me too.
Omid was cool. He likes Civil War history. And Krista's all bitchy to lead the whole time. It's like, you just met this guy. You should be nice. You should be thankful that he's alive.
What is...
But no, she's kind of bitchy
no,
to him.
not... Did you hear
Wow.
her speech? We're 2. That's why we're still alive. We're not 6. We're not 8. There isn't strength in numbers anymore. And she's right. That's why that she's bitchy to Lee, because he has a big group. Do you notice all the problems that happened because Lee was in a big group?
I mean, It's not because he's in a big group. It's because Ben was in the big group.
Larry, Lily, Ben. 3 members.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Lily.
3 members of a big group that completely screwed over
but think
everybody.
About this. I'm gonna say Lily was just like kind of like in a bad place because Kenny fucked up Larry, and then that kind of drove Lily over the edge.
It doesn't matter.
That's not her fault necessarily.
No, when you point blank, even in the mental state you're in, when you point blank shoot someone in the head with no evidence other than I think you did it, you're insane, and
that is no excuse.
Yeah, there is no excuse for that. There is no excuse
Jason,
for that.
I have a question. Since you saved Doug.
Yeah.
Does Lily kill Doug?
Yeah, Lily kills Doug instead.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Doug gets kind of like depressed and suicidal almost in episode 2.
Oh, so you're better off without Doug. Anyway.
You're not really better off, but he really takes Carly's death really hard.
Oh.
Oh
fuck! This is a lesson. Save Carly. Fuck Doug.
No, there's no way to save Carly. I really wish there was.
Well, I mean,
there was no way, man. Anyway, I wish.
But when it's episode 1, when you have to choose between Carly and Doug, choose Carly.
Or you can choose Doug.
Or you choose Doug. If you do episode 2, he actually does this really cool thing. You know how when the guys are coming up from the farm and Carly alerts you to them? Doug actually found trash around the hotel, so he made a security grid out of like string and bells.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like, okay, if they walk over this line, we know they're coming from the east. If they ring that bell, they're coming from the west. If they come from this way, they're coming from the north. And like, while you're having this conversation, it zooms over to the thing and the bells start ringing for the north, and then here come the guys from the farm, and they're like, man, I really tripped over that wire. I wonder who set that there. Like, everybody's ready with a gun.
Oh, that's cool.
Doug's a really smart dude.
I wish you could have just shot those fuckers right there.
I didn't trust them from the get-go. Like, I watched Fragger play episode 2, and the second they showed up, I was like, kill him. Kill him. Kill him.
Kill him. No good
will come from these people.
I wonder what would have happened if Lee did not find the half a guy up in the meat locker.
Mark. Find Mark.
If Mark didn't die, they probably would have run out of food.
I'm not saying if Mark didn't die. Let's assume Mark died, and Lee was in the dining room with everyone, and they all fucking ate Mark. I wonder what would have happened with the story. Would they just like stay there forever, or would they?
No. What?
The eventual question would have come up. Wait a second.
Where's Mark?
You only have one cow. No, not even that. They could have said Mark died and then like get a walker body and then wrap that up and say it's Mark and then bury it. Put a bullet in his brain like, we'll take care of this for you, we understand, blah, blah, blah. I don't want you guys to have to go through unnecessary stress. We'll kill Mark so he doesn't turn, and then we'll put his body in a bag, and then we'll bury him somewhere on the property. That's a way they can get away with it.
Whoa. Sorry, my stomach hurts now.
Okay.
I can see why this is a bad
thing. No,
This is why I told you to do one Mentos, but did you listen? No.
One Mento was easy. This was a challenge.
No, I think if you're asking the scenario of if everyone ate Mark, the scenario would be, I'm pretty sure like the next day or the day after, someone would go, wait a minute, you only have...
This is a dairy farm.
Yeah, this is a dairy farm. You only have one cow. You told us the rest of your stock is dead. Where did the meat we ate last night come from? It's
Makes
just
sense.
a really obvious question to ask.
Alright.
Because even when they were doing it, I was just like, where did the meat come from? Nobody questioned the meal, because they were just like, oh man, it's bread and all these vegetables. And I was like, okay, they can make that. Where's the meat? Where did that come from? I can understand having vegetable farms and bread and milk and butter on a dairy farm. Those are very understandable things. But when they went, and we have meat, I was like, no, you don't. No. There is no way you have meat.
It was just really fucked up to see Mark in there, too.
It was. Him just, like, crawling around. Help me.
I kind of wish it was, like, anyone else but Mark, because I know Mark only showed up for that episode, but he was pretty cool.
I liked Mark. They set him up as a throwaway character, though. Because they quickly explained his origins by, you came by and you had food. That's how you got to stay. And I was like, oh, so he's going to die then. Yeah.
So what I learned from this conversation is that by going to film school, Jason has become a future seer.
Oh,
dude.
Fuck. Good call, chat. I might order a pizza.
No, it just means that's how predictable Hollywood's getting.
Looper, by the time he met the kid, I called it. I was like, nope, done. I know what happens.
I'm out of this movie.
Yeah. For those of you who have seen Looper, when he gets to the farm, when Joseph Gordon-Levitt gets to the farm, and you see the kid for the first time, I was like, done. I know it. Because
the end.
It pretty much was the end for me. I was like, okay, we're done. I just have to see how they play this out. That's all I have to do.
Did you see Wreck-It Ralph yet?
No, I've been kind of poor over the past little bit. I may go see Wreck-It Ralph sometime later this week. I do want to see it, though.
Yay.
Looks really good.
I hear really good things about it. I really want to see it.
The next movie I get to see is in 13 days, which is going to be The Hobbit.
My mom and I will probably go see that. We have like a tradition of going to see J.R.R. Tolkien movies, because we saw all of the Lord of the Rings trilogy together, and I guess now we'll watch the first Hobbit, and if I move out and go get a job or something, I'll probably fly home and be like, Mom, we're going to go see The Hobbit Part 2. Well, what? It's tradition.
Nice.
I'm not actually a big fan of the Lord of the Rings
series.
What?
I get it. I get why people are and aren't fans of that. It's actually why I'm a really agreeable person for most people, because they'll be like, oh man, don't push your views on me, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm just going to suggest something based off what I know about you and say, hey, you may like this. If you don't, fine. Walk away from it. I will never influence you to watch it again. If you do, great, we'll talk about it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if you like it, okay. If you don't, that's cool too.
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, you don't like Lord of the Rings? I was like, yeah, people cannot like stuff.
Yeah. It's like, for a long time, I guess I should point out that this is kind of a problem I have, is that, like, when I hear someone doesn't like something, I'm like, did you try it? Did you watch it?
Did you try it?
And then if they go, nope.
I didn't try. I tried watching Lord of the Rings.
Now, was it
I fell asleep halfway through.
extended edition, or was it the theatrical?
You didn't
the
try.
first movie.
You didn't try any further than that.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
In the theater.
I remember watching the ends of the first Lord of the Rings movie, and you know it ends with Sam and Frodo walking away by themselves, and then it fades to black. I heard this woman in front of me go, "That's it? That's a horrible story," and I was like, "Dumbass, there are 2 more stories."
Yep.
She was just like, "How did?"
If that was the end of the movie, I'm like, huh.
Yeah, I know. She
odd.
really thought that was the end of the whole story. Was just like Sam and Frodo walk away. The
so
end.
That was the lady that said, "Those are the aliens at Independence
I was
Day."
like, what? No. Yeah, probably. She probably moved here.
No,
She
actually,
probably
no.
moved here from Austin.
No, she was like the lady who, like, at the end of Star Wars Episode 5. That's it. They just count you on, and that's it.
When I went to go see Skyfall, there were these 2 girls that sat behind me. And every time Daniel Craig came out and like was shooting or whatever, and they were doing some action sequence, every single gunshot they went pew 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 pew, like they're doing like the wimpy little gun noise, every single shot.
No, I'll tell you what's worse. The guy behind me for Skyfall, I think I said this. I may have said this on Cigarette Burns.
Plug.
The guy behind me for Skyfall, I think he was with like his mom or his aunt or something. He was with a very older woman who was obviously related to him. And he would not shut up throughout, like, the promos for other movies. He wouldn't shut up. He had to comment.
Well, it's just the promos for other movies.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to watch those in silence. You treat those like they're a movie. You do not go, oh, that's good. Oh, that's a really good special effect. you know what, that movie, I think I may go see that movie. And I'm just like, I don't care what you do.
See, Jason, no. When people go to the movie theater, they pay however much for a movie ticket to see the movie. They don't pay. It's like, I want to go see these promos.
Well, the promos are basically...
People don't do that.
No, you know what you're paying for in a theater, Hurrah?
When they show previews, that means sit down, shut the fuck up, the movie's about to start.
Yeah, what
That's
you're
why
really
they
paying
put
for
previews.
when you go to a theater, you're paying for two things, depending on what you're seeing. If you're going to a midnight release, you're paying for the atmosphere of people who like what you like. So you can cheer at the same time, you can boo at the same time, you can have that almost weird community camaraderie that exists with people you don't know. If you're just going to see a movie, you're paying your money to sit there with a group of people who may like what you like, but all have a social contract with each other to shut the hell up.
See, that's why I wait a few weeks for a movie to come out before I go see it, because then there's no one else in the theater.
That's actually not a bad idea.
It's not.
Because I like having the whole theater to myself.
But no, during Skyfall, whenever they made a
idea.
reference to an older Bond movie, he would lean over and go, "Yeah, that's a reference to Goldfinger. That really wasn't that good of a Bond movie." And I'm just like, considering I had literally just come off seeing every Bond movie, I was about to jump up and go, "That's actually not a reference to Goldfinger, dumbass. That's a reference to a different movie."
You should have.
Because I knew what he was talking about, and I was just like, no, that's not a reference to Goldfinger. The car later in a movie is a reference to Goldfinger because of the machine guns. This is a reference...
I was so sad with that car. I just...
You know what?
That car did not...
Oh yeah, that car got messed up. No, when he unveiled the car, he was just like...
He didn't really drive it. He just, fucking parked it.
Yeah, well, they wanted
He's
to...
oh, here's the countryside. Let's park 30 yards away, and then push it.
Well, to be fair, it was a trap. I mean, the car was meant to do one thing.
I mean, I know it's a trap, but still. They could have done more with the car.
It's just, I don't know. That guy ruined my experience of Skyfall. He really did, because everything he talked over, he was like... Oh man, that was a really good action sequence. I was picturing in my head, how do I get up and turn around and politely tell him to shut up without him getting an attitude?
Think about this, Jason. You're just another patron in the theater. He's with his mother. His mother has to deal with her child being a fucking asshole.
And you know what? Theater. That means she should have done a better job.
This is true. Or maybe he's one of those stubborn pricks that just doesn't give a fuck because he has unresolved daddy issues.
Give me 5 minutes, I will...
And then his mother just feels bad, so she gave him a lot of presents and gave him a high self-esteem and made him look like he was always right.
There's actually a really good Cyanide and Happiness comic lately that is about, kids show up to stuff and they get participation awards and they feel like they did something. Well, this kid is telling his dad about it. He's like, "Daddy, I got an F in the spelling bee, and I got a participation award. Isn't that great?" And he looks at his son, and he just goes, No, it isn't, because they're fostering false self-esteem. You did horrible, and you should feel bad that you did horrible. And he's like, "Daddy, why?" Because only through that will you learn to get a good education and actually learn to have a skill set. And he's like, "Well, I just listened to what you said, Daddy. Do I get a participation award?" No. Not even ice cream? Go to your room.
I don't mean to brag, but I was a pro speller back in the day.
If I have a kid,
Jason is the sternest
I'm going to raise
ever.
them like my parents raised me. Everything has consequences. They taught me this very early in life. Everything has a consequence. Whether it's a good or a bad consequence, it doesn't matter. Everything has consequences.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Yeah, and there are rules to everything. Whether you think there are or aren't, there are rules to everything. You get 3 strikes, guess what? You're out. I don't care if it's Little League, I don't care if it's T-ball, you get 3 swings. If you can't hit the ball, you go sit down. You don't get to keep trying until you make it.
Which people do try to push. Like, "Oh no, you didn't hit it. Go ahead and try again."
Yeah, I'd be like, Get that kid sitting down right now. They'll be like, no, he's a child and he needs to try. Then he needs to practice harder at home. Sit him down.
Oh shit.
I can just picture Jason.
I'm a horrible person.
All right.
Go ahead,
I can
Kirsty.
just picture you, Jason, as a baseball coach, and like a parent's like, "Oh, maybe you should have him hit the ball more at practice." And you like look at her.
Jason's
and
gonna be that really
tell the
stern,
mom or
like,
parent,
baseball
like,
coach.
Sit down.
Yeah, the parents are gonna get up. It's like, why don't you play my child? Because your child sucks.
The end. Sit the hell back down.
I'm sorry. The end. You haven't been to practice.
It's the truth.
You drop him off
So
and you
people
pick
can't
him up,
take
and
it.
I'm the one who has to coach him. If you can't deal with it, guess what you can do? Practice at home.
Yeah, I can just imagine Jason just walking around his house with the baseball cap and the big jacket.
Here's the baseball bat.
If you want me to mentor him, okay, that's fine. But you have to learn something. There are rules, and you can fail at things. You can't win everything.
Yes.
I learned that the hard way when I
I say this, and people are like, that's a horrible thing to say. No, that is life. You cannot succeed at everything. Failure is an option, but it's not the option you want to choose.
just like Star Wars Episode 1.
Is Jason still talking about the same thing?
Yes, Hurrah, Jason was still talking.
Oh. No, about the same thing, I mean. I know he was still talking.
Yeah.
Alright.
I have to address this in the chat. Somebody was just like, why wouldn't anyone help me? Because you suck. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. I did. You know what the problem with young me was? Young me hated rules. I loved to figure out the giant gaping loophole in rules. I loved that. My dad used to be my soccer coach, and we have a hill beside our house. And he would make me play against my sister, who was bigger and taller and stronger than me, because she's 3 years older. So he was like, we're going to learn how you get around somebody who's bigger and faster than you. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I kicked the ball to my right, which is where the hill was, ran left, and she came after me thinking I still had the ball, even though she saw me kick it right, because I did it at the same time. I ran left and kicked right. The ball, I knew the arc it would take, so I was at where it was by the time she turned around. And he was like, you can't do that. And I was like, yeah, I can. The hill's right there. There is no reason I can't do that.
Is it bad that I'm imagining, like young Jason is, like, a kid Indiana Jones, and your sister's, like, a giant stone temple guardian?
Dun, 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 dun,
Actually,
dun, dun,
when I heard the
dun,
story,
dun,
I thought of
dun,
Jason as
dun.
Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, and then Jason's dad was Calvin's dad.
Does Calvin... Oh,
That's what I
okay.
thought of.
I can accept that.
Alright.
I guess.
I
That's a
really,
good
I really
classic
don't...
comic, and he has, like, the best
I
dad
don't really
ever.
read Calvin and Hobbes, so I don't know if, like, Calvin was always skirting the rules.
Oh,
Okay.
he was. Calvin was pretty cool.
He was. I used to read Calvin and Hobbes when I was younger.
Yeah, reading is fundamental, right? Or something like that.
No, it was just my grandfather handed me the paper.
Yeah, my mom actually had to make me read, and now that I'm older, I'm just like, yeah, I want to buy all these books and read them, and she's like, I couldn't make you read for the life of you, and I was like, I know.
I know, this is just to spite you, Mom.
I read good
Just like
books,
as you're reading
though.
every book's like, take that, Mom, I can read.
During my summer vacation, she would set a timer, and it would be for 30 minutes, and I had to read 30 minutes every day of my summer vacation.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's a punishment?
No, that was
no,
a learning experience.
Yeah, that was to make me read, and read comprehensively, because after I was done with the book, she'd have me tell her what the book was about.
Oh, almost threw up a little bit in my mouth, sorry.
My dad made me do that. I hated it. Hoorah!
I
So what's the
hated
book
it.
about?
Go ahead and leave it.
No, I'm good.
I
I'm good.
read...
Don't do it on mic.
I'm good.
Jason,
I,
you know what? You should be glad that 50 Shades of Grey didn't come out when you were a kid.
No,
So, Jason,
I
what's 50
actually
Shades of Grey
remember
about?
every book I read. as a child. I read the entire Indian in the Cupboard series. I read what's the name of that book? It's a story about a school, and they did it as a series, and the big joke about it was there wasn't a 13th floor to the school, that it was like, yeah.
Wayside Stories.
Yeah.
I fucking love those.
Yeah,
I miss
it's
those
weird
so
because
much.
like
I'm sorry, I got excited.
Oh, Wayside! That's what it is. I was like,
I
it's
love
Wayside
Wayside
School or
Stories.
Wayside something.
Wayside Stories
I never heard of these books.
was the
You've
fucking
never heard
best.
of Wayside Story?
Nope.
It's like Wayside Stories of Wayside School or something.
It was Wayside Stories from Wayside School.
Yeah, I read these. There's like the big joke
Never
about
heard
it
of
was
these.
everybody made the kids go to the 13th floor, but there was no 13th floor. You walked up the 12th floor to the 13th, and then when you turned the corner, there was the 14th floor, and you're like, how did that happen?
And then
Yep.
Todd had to ride the kindergarten bus home
the
every
guy,
day because he said
basically
door.
the architect of the school.
Yeah, it was like,
I remember that.
no, it didn't exist.
Well, fuck, I
But,
feel old because
the
you two
architect-
read those books.
And it was
Alright.
actually the 19th
So what?
floor.
So is the 13th floor like hell or
Um,
something?
No,
Yeah, it's
What-
supposed to be
what happened was
32
is that
floors.
the guy who made the building misread it as it's supposed to be 32 rooms, one story. He read it backwards as 32 stories, one room on each story.
Yeah, so there's like a giant classroom on each floor.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That doesn't even.
and while they were numbering it, they thought they did 13 and didn't, so they just put 14. So there is no 13th floor.
That just seems like
Yeah.
the stupidest error to make ever.
Except for the
And it
one
doesn't even
story.
sound like-
Except
I know,
for the
right?
one story where what was her name? Dana. She went to the 13th floor and she found that one kid that didn't exist, and she found someone's little brother from her
Oh,
class
yeah.
that didn't exist. That's really cool.
Yeah, like if you find the 13th floor, you find like all the missing students or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was that story where the school was about to fall because it was so tall that it started swaying.
I would think that happened immediately.
Oh,
This does not sound like a structurally sound building.
And then they ended one of the books.
It
with
isn't,
the-
but it was the third book.
It was the
Because
third
goes,
book? Okay.
Wayside Stories from Wayside School. Then it goes Wayside Stories from Wayside School gets a little stranger, which is where the new teacher has a baby.
Oh, Mrs. Jules, right?
And then the last one is Wayside School falls down.
And then
Yeah.
I remember the end of the first book, all the kids had to go to different schools because the school got filled up with cows because of Mrs. Jules' cowbell.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Yeah, it was like.
Was that the second book?
Wait, wasn't there
That was
a cartoon
third one.
called Wayside?
There might have been.
That seems like. Yeah, I remember there was a cartoon
thinking
called Wayside. I don't know if it was based on the same thing though. It was like a school that was
Yeah.
like built really funkily.
Yep,
Oh my
I
gosh,
don't
there
know
really
if it's
is
based on the same
apparently.
thing or
I
not.
think it was.
There's a Wayside School movie. I just found it on YouTube.
There's a Wayside movie.
Oh shit! I'll have to watch
Yeah,
that
there's
later.
a Wayside School movie. I'll keep the link.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a Wayside TV series.
link that to me on Skype later.
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh, the school looks exactly the same. They just did a pan up.
Oh shit!
Oh, I remember Lewis, the gym teacher.
I didn't think they ever did a
He always
movie.
gave everyone kickballs, but the kids on the top floor
Yeah.
always got the flat kickballs.
Oh, wait, never mind. It's just a series based off the story. My
Yeah.
God, that's such a good series. I
Ah.
want to read it again. I don't care if it's for second graders.
bad. Yeah, sorry. When I was a kid, I just read like
Yeah, I've been reading werewolf books.
werewolf books. Really,
Fucking nerd.
nerds. I think Kissy got cut off there.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
happened
I
to
lost
Kisty.
audio.
Okay.
Werewolf books, really?
I'm flopping in and out here, but I actually got to get going. So my
Oh, yeah,
podcast
you have that
is only
parade to
going to
go
be
to.
30 minutes long.
All right. Well,
I got to go get ready to go to a parade.
while Kisty's leaving, I'll be right back because I gotta pee a little bit.
Dude, we're recording a podcast.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, Kisty, just leave your Skype on busy, and I'll send you the link to the Wayside School movie.
Darkstalkers is
Okay, well, I'm offline on my laptop, so it'll be on my PC when I get home.
That's fine.
Right, bye, Casey.
Alright, well, I'm stopping my audio here, but you guys can keep recording the podcast and just send me your audio later.
Fine.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yes, Darkstalkers had a cartoon, and it lasted for 13 episodes.
Darkstalkers had a cartoon?
Yep. It was, Pamela Anderson was Felicia the Cat, and she was protecting the next, wizard, the next guardian of the Darkstalkers.
The series has a story?
And, yeah. And, the main bad guy of the Darkstalkers story was recruiting all the evil characters to work for him to kill the kid so that he could take over the minds of all the good and bad Darkstalker characters and then rule the world.
Wow, that sounds like a terrible premise for a show.
It is. And, like, they traveled to different areas across the world to, find different Darkstalker characters to either fight for or against them.
That sounds really, really dumb. Like the Mortal Kombat cartoon.
Yeah. Hey, the Mortal Kombat cartoon had 2-3 seasons.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
There are some shows that do not deserve more seasons.
No. There really aren't. The Double Dragon cartoon sure didn't.
There was a Double
Oh,
Dragon
yeah.
cartoon.
It was really stupid.
How stupid we talking?
What was really stupid?
How stupid are we talking?
Dragon cartoon, apparently.
Oh.
Double Dragon cartoon, apparently.
Well, for one, the power of the Double Dragon did not just grant them the powers that it does in the game, where they're like really cool and really awesome fighters. It actually transformed them physically. And if you were aligned with good and aligned with Jimmy and Billy Lee, you transformed as well into your Double Dragon fighting counterpart, I guess. And they had like they could transform cars, and there was like this mechanic guy who like built specific stylized cars and weapons and stuff for them. It was stupid.
That sounds
it is extremely stupid. You would not believe the stupidity.
Like, that sounds stupid, but at the same time, how 80s
Oh, it
was
was
it?
90s.
Okay, never mind.
It's
Extremely stupid.
It definitely pulled the "we're extreme" thing.
No, you know what show deserved
What?
another season? Xiaolin's
Yes, it
Xiaolin's
did.
Showdown.
That was actually a good show.
That's a fantastic show.
Wait, that was the
I
kid
don't
with the
think
lemon
everyone knows
head,
what we're
right?
talking about.
Yeah.
Alright.
Omi?
And then the cowboy, and then the Brazilian guy that turned out to be a bad guy, but then he cried a bunch and then was a good guy again.
Yeah, pretty much. Right,
Raimundo.
and then the Asian girl Kimiko.
And
Clay
Clay,
was the yeah.
the cowboy. How much? There was it really needed another season because it like
It ended with
weirdly.
like they were talking about it. It's just like, Raimundo, you have learned the mastery of this path, and I was like, what? Yeah, he gets
What?
like
So yeah, and he became like master level and like, okay, this is cool.
And then
Next
they're
season.
like, yeah, this is awesome, Raimundo. You made it to the next level, and they're just like, yeah, no
Nope,
next
no
level.
season.
Wait, was he the last one to make it to the next level or whatever the fuck it is?
No,
Yeah, he was the last one to make it to the level when they passed, but then
yeah,
he
it was
became
like
the master.
Wuxi Warrior was I think what he graduated to. Hold on, I'm actually gonna look it up.
Alright.
There might be a wiki for
Fucking
this
Google
show.
time.
Yeah, that show was amazing. There was kung fu, and the style was pretty good. There's actually
Oh, speaking of amazing shows with wikis,
yeah.
I'm gonna recommend something to everyone. Go fucking watch Gravity Falls.
What is that show?
That might be the coolest show ever.
What is that show?
It's basically like kind of like a fantasy monster mystery, like the Loch Ness monster and shit like that. But they all have like some sort of different takes on it a little bit.
Explain.
Like, you know. All right, I'm gonna tell you the first episode. Like these twins that go to camp. Their names are Dipper and Mabel.
Okay, first of all, who the fuck names their children this?
parents with an awesome sense of humor.
That's just terrible.
No, it's pretty great. Anyway, they go to like their great uncle's mystery shack is what he calls it. It's basically
Mystery
like a museum
shack.
of mysteries.
This is not. This
It's
sounds
like
like
a museum
rape.
of mysteries, but they're like all fake because this guy, like, imagine Mr. Krabs, like how he's like a penny pincher and a money grabber. That's what their Grunkle Stan is. Grunkle is great uncle, and it's Stan is his name.
Grunkle.
Grunkle. Yeah, they call him Grunkle Stan. It's funny. And then,
This show does not sound very appealing to me already.
no, Grunkle's pretty great. And then he's like putting up some signs so more tourists will come to his mystery shack so he can get more money. And then he picks Dipper, and then Dipper's hanging up signs on the trees. And he finds a metal tree with a book inside it. And it's got like books, and it's got like gnomes and zombies and Loch Ness monster things. And then Mabel is like, they're like 12 or whatever, and she's looking for a boyfriend while they're there. And then she finds one, and he's like some pale teenager guy with like, he's bleeding jam, and he's got a hoodie on.
He's bleeding jam.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's bleeding.
Do you
but
know
his
how?
excuse was it was
Do you know
jam.
how stupid you are selling this
It's not
show?
And then-
you're not doing a good pitch here.
I know. And then Dipper's like looking through the book because he's kind of suspicious of the boyfriend. He's like, "Oh fuck, it's a zombie! I gotta tell Mabel." And then he goes crazy, and then it turns out it's not a zombie.
Wait, what? It's a zombie? Spoiler! It's
No,
a
it's not
zombie.
no,
even
here's
though
the
he's
thing,
speaking,
like,
apparently.
The cool thing about this show is it's like it's all mysteries and stuff, but nothing's what you expect it to be. Because he's
Holy-
like, "Oh, it's
holy
zombies,"
crap.
and then the zombie is like, "Oh, Mabel, I love you, so I'm gonna tell you who I really am." And he unzips his hoodie, and it's 5 gnomes stacked up on top of each other. And then they're gonna make her the gnome queen. It's fucking
Boo!
great. You need to see. I'll link you a video, and I guarantee you'll love it.
Dude, this
Yeah.
show sounds
no, it's a
horrible.
fucking great show. I'm just really bad at explaining it.
Dude, like,
I'll link you a video. Don't worry about it.
yeah. What was he gonna be, Jason?
Raimundo ascended to the level of Shoku Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing, which they would have explained
Yeah.
if there was another season.
So Omi was voiced by Tara Strong.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like weird that would be the that's so weird.
She's like the female cartoon version of Nolan North.
Oh wait, the series is planned to be followed by Xiaolin Chronicles in 2013. Actress Tara Strong strongly hinted via Twitter that episodes are being produced, which was confirmed by fellow series stars Gray DeLise, who I think was the voice of Wuya.
Kimiko.
Oh, that was Kimiko?
No, yeah. Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, that's
I
Kimiko.
think
Yeah,
she was either Wuya or Kimiko.
Yeah, she's Kimiko, you're right. I think she may have done... No, that was Susan.
She also did Azula.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that
I
the
heard
floating
when she
pinwheel
appeared on the
lady?
March 2nd.
What?
It was what was the name of the floating purple pinwheel?
That was Wuya.
What?
Okay.
That was Wuya. How is she a pinwheel?
She did do kind of a spinny thing.
Yeah, she did a spinny thing.
When she appeared on the Mar and by... Oh, wow, series creator Christy Wu in her Facebook account.
Wow. So we're gonna get a sequel series. This sounds cool.
Yeah. Strong will be reprising her role as Kimiko, and Jennifer Hale, who voiced Kat Nape in the original series, will be voicing Kimiko, replacing DeLise. Oh, gosh.
Wow.
So, I guess, yeah, that happened.
Slightly sad face, but it's still cool.
No, I'm totally cool with it. I really actually like that series, which is so weird.
I know the series is so good though.
I want Master Fung back, and he has to be voiced by Renee Auberjonois-Jones.
Yes, he does. Just because he was like the badass sensei.
Yeah.
Any ETA on the Legend of Korra season 2?
I don't know.
Because that show has potential.
Korra?
Yeah, it has potential for a good second season.
Yeah, it has a lot of potential for a good second season. I forgot who the actual voice actor for...
Okay, sometime 2013 apparently.
Yeah, it's sometime. I just said 2013, like 5 minutes ago.
I totally missed that.
I need to find the cast list.
Which actress are you looking for?
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I was looking for who was the voice of the monk in the monk that watched over her. That's Tenzin. Yeah, he was Tenzin.
Yeah, Tenzin.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What? I was trying to. Oh yeah, who? That's that really shitty show that you were describing. Or he's not going to acknowledge us now because I said that. Yeah, the way he described it, it sounded like a really shitty version of the Secret Saturdays.
I loved the Secret Saturdays. That actually got a good ending.
It got a good ending, but I felt like, can I just get like a little bit more?
Well, you kind of can't because the whole point was like Zack has superpowers and now he doesn't anymore. So you'd have to.
Yeah, I know, but still. It'd be like a retcon thing.
Like you'd have to make it take place before the end of the series, like the lost adventure of the Secret Saturdays.
Yep, and Hurrah's back apparently.
Yeah, I'm back. Am I making noise?
Not really. We were trying to talk to you.
Oh, sorry. I had to go pee again, dude. When you chug a 2-liter bottle, you gotta go pee.
So many. Yeah, I'll give you that, Chad. So many feels in Korra.
So many feels in Korra.
Anyway,
but yeah, Hurrah, you ever watch do you ever watch the Secret Saturdays?
Is that the show that always started black and white and then ended in black and white?
No.
Okay, I don't know then.
What?
The one that's a better show than Gravity Falls?
Oh.
Fuck you, Gravity Falls is great.
No, Hurrah, I'm gonna say this. As a fan of animated series, both American and Japanese, the way you describe that series makes it the most dumbest thing I've heard of in a while.
I already admitted to being bad at explaining it. Jeez, Jason, I'll fucking link you the video too.
I don't want to see it.
Dude, just it just sounded so bad the way you showed to us.
It's like you wanted to hint at us that it was going to be good, but you also gave away like huge spoilers in the meantime.
It was only the first episode. And I told you I was going to explain the first episode to you.
Well, that just shows how much I paid attention.
Well, it didn't really help that much.
No, it really didn't.
Alright, well...
Yeah, but dude, Secret Saturdays is way better than you described it.
Yeah.
Because there's like cryptozoology and it's really cool.
Which is actually a field of study.
It is. I've seen books on this. I've read books on this.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating, actually.
Nerd.
And Hurrah knows absolutely not what that is.
No.
What books are or what Secret Saturdays are? Because I know books.
No, what cryptozoology is.
I know books.
That's when you're looking at hidden animals. I don't know.
Hidden animals.
Hidden animals.
Yeah,
It's like when you're looking at that 3D puzzle and you go cross-eyed. That's what cryptozoology is. It's a unicorn!
We found the unicorn! It's over there. It was in the tree. No, it's like the study of supernatural animals. Like, like unicorns, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
Chupacabra.
So it's like Gravity Falls.
How is this anything like a show where 5 dwarves stack themselves up in a coat and try to flirt with a girl?
No.
Who's 12 years old?
Who's
they're
12?
Not flirting with a girl. They're trying to get her to become their new gnome queen and marry like all 1,000 of them.
Yeah, that doesn't sound creepy.
So it's a show about bigamy.
That's good. That's nice.
No, it's kind of cool.
About 34 Smurfs.
Yeah, I think on.
Oh yeah, hold on. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, how I'm friends with about 34 Smurfs.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. And then the next
it.
day, Chad he tweeted me or something like that, and told me that he played
hurrah.
with a guy.
Explain the full story. Explain the full story first.
All right. So back in the Halo Reach days, before all this Halo 4 buzz, overrated buzz. I was doing some matchmaking one day and randomly got paired with a bunch of people, and then I was getting some kills and then I died and someone assassinated me, and what I read was about 34 Smurfs assassinated you, and I fucking laughed for a long time, and then he kept killing me, and I'm like, oh fuck, about 34 Smurfs are really good at this game. And then this is like 2 months later, and I'm just looking I'm just looking at the people I'm paired up with, and I see about 34 Smurfs. I'm like, what the fuck? I've played with them before. And then that just kind of stuck with me, about 34 Smurfs, because it fits in a sentence. I thought
Yeah,
it was,
you've
like,
got to
the
love
greatest
when
thing
people...
ever.
And now he's friends with about 34 Smurfs.
Yeah, so about, like, a few days ago, I sent a friend request and a message telling him that we played together before in Halo Reach. I'd love to in Halo 4. So I sent a friend request to about 34 Smurfs, and about 34 Smurfs accepted my friend request.
He takes
And
about
then,
he takes up about 34
yesterday,
friend slots
I know.
too.
It's
He did. Actually, he took up 37 somehow. I'm not sure how that works.
Well, he said about 34, so like you have a little leeway
Yeah.
there.
there could
Oh,
be
yeah,
36,
that's true.
but
So yesterday, we're playing Griffball with some friends, and then someone randomly joins. I'm like, and then I read it, about 34 Smurfs has joined the game. I'm like, fuck yes.
About
But then
34
he, like,
Smurfs.
you gotta love when somebody has the...
Unfortunately, I was hosting, so he immediately lagged out, so he really didn't get to play. And then later, like yesterday, Chad tweets me, I just played with about 13 crabs.
Oh man,
And that is the story of about 34 Smurfs.
I love people with gamer tags like that.
I know. I kind of want to change mine to that, but I don't want to waste money on changing a gamer tag to something I'll...
Well, Xbox Live Gold is free this weekend.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Gold is free this weekend.
Till, I think, midnight tomorrow? Yeah, it's all free.
So I can change my gamer tag for free?
No,
you
that
you
still
make a
costs
new
points.
account for free.
Why would I want to make a new account?
I don't know, because it'd be funny. You're dumb.
Oh, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
You're dumb.
Head, wall, head, wall.
Face, desk, face, desk.
Face, desk.
Some people.
You know, I wonder if you have gold right now, are you allowed, like, 2 more days on your gold subscription because of this?
I don't know. I would think so. It seems logical.
It's just... It's something logical, but it's probably one of those things like, well, you had gold going into it, so we're not really going to be like, well, you get 2 more days of gold because we did a free gold weekend for everybody.
Solid gold.
I just feel like that should be something they do.
Yeah, okay. So, this podcast is winding down. Jason, you play the Omega DLC?
No, I don't have points for it. I didn't know it was coming out, or else I wouldn't have bought all the Walking Dead games.
Dude, I've heard good things.
I've heard nothing but good things, and I know exactly who I'm taking. I know you've got to take what's her name in your group,
Arya?
but I'm also Arya, but I'm also gonna take Garrus because it's just gonna be like, okay, I'm rolling with the 2 biggest badasses on Omega. What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing here can possibly go wrong.
Nothing here can ever.
Female Tyrion, what is this?
I think we talked about it last week. I don't remember. But, Jason, what's your game of the year this year?
Jason wasn't here last week.
Yeah, I wasn't here last week. I had a family over, so I couldn't get to my recording stuff.
Alright. So what's your game of the year?
That's actually a really good question.
It's probably something not Walking Dead.
Actually, I think it is. I think it
Probably.
is Walking Dead.
Oh, really?
I think Walking Dead, the structure of it, everything it makes you do. I think it's game
All the
of the
feels.
all the feels, because I did have feels during this game, and that's really hard for a game to make me do. I'm gonna say Walking Dead.
See, Jason, now when Fragger calls you a monster, you can point him to this episode.
It'd be like, no, Walking Dead. No, it's such... Okay, when you're telling a story the way they told it, it's kind of hard not to...
Not to feel anything?
Yeah, not to feel anything, and to not kind of ruin the story you're trying to weave. The whole point of it is, the fact that I played it back to back to back to back is what really helped me see things ahead of time. But you gotta remember, most people didn't do that. Most people got episode 1, waited the 2 months, and then played episode 2. So not only were they forgetting the relationships and coming back to them, they were also just experiencing things for the first time. I've seen a stream of episode 1 and 2, so nothing really surprised me. It was all just, oh, make a decision. But episode 3... I was just like, I'm in the deep woods right now. I have no idea what's going on. And then
Why is there a train?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Yeah, why is there a train? How did no one figure this out sooner? And then episode...
Oh god, hobos!
Yeah. You know what? They have it right on the TV show, and one of their promo catchphrases is, in the zombie apocalypse, you only fear the living.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, because every new person you run into could be the nicest person on the planet or the most psychotic person on the planet, and you don't know, because when everything in the world is taken away from you except being able to live, you kind of snap.
Yeah. Kind of hard not to.
I mean, the governor on Walking Dead, on the TV show, we've already seen how crazy he is.
Is he as crazy as he is in the comics?
I would say so.
No, he didn't, Okay, I have to bring this up. Last week, they implied sexual assault on, what's her name, Hoorah? Maggie. In the comics, the governor outright rapes Michonne. I mean, does not hesitate to do this. He wanted...
Right, who is the governor? I don't watch the show or anything.
The governor is a character that lords over a small town called Woodcrest. And the way he...
Woodbury.
Woodbury? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was Woodcrest for some reason.
No.
And anyway, he does... To the public eye, he's a very nice person. He does what needs to be done, and everything goes happy in the little town. Under the surface, you see that he is very psychotic. He is a dictator and does not take well to people defying his orders. He runs everything with an iron fist and pretty much military law. He will greet outsiders and treat them like they're part of the community, only to trick them into telling him information that he needs to know to get supplies for the town, and then kill the person they just brought in and anyone else that's out there so they can have the supplies all for themselves. And he's really psychotic. He has this real devotion to his family because he has this weird... He has this weird room, by the way, where he keeps all the heads of the people he's killed or had killed. And he just sort of sits in there sometimes and just stares at all the heads. And,
Oh, is that the zombie fish tank thing?
Yeah, the zombie fish tank thing,
Yes.
yeah. He also has... His daughter is a zombie, and he just couldn't bring himself to kill her. So he has pulled all her teeth out and treats her like she's still a little girl and has her in a straitjacket so she can't, like, attack him in any way, and treats her like she's still alive, even though she's a zombie.
That's kind of,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he...
Like, I think in the comics, like, he's kind of like a sadistic
Oh,
fuck.
no, I'm talking about in the comics. He's a sadistic son of a bitch.
I know, but, like, yeah, and he's just, like, not a guy you want to mess with, and, like, everyone can kind of see that he's not afraid to fuck someone up, but in the show, he's more of, like, a private psychotic.
Yeah, he's... Well, in the comic, he's a little bit of a private psychotic, but he still treats everyone in Woodbury like, oh, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Like, the people who were there at the start, he treats great. If you're a stranger, you better run the other way. I don't care if there's, like...
Shit.
I don't care if there's a horde of zombies coming at you. If it's you or Woodbury, you get away from Woodbury.
Oh, so it's like Crawford.
Unless you're a slut like Andrea.
Yeah.
It is Crawford, basically. Unless you're a slut like Andrea, then you can just kind of, like, have sex with the governor and be cool.
Right? Yeah, I
Fucking hate her character so much in the show. I mean, she's a really good comic character.
Oh, she's a great character in the
But
comics.
in the show, she's such a fucking hot-headed slut.
Yeah, she is.
And it bothers
she
me.
is. She's a really bad character in the comics. I mean, in the show, compared to the comics.
Yeah, she's fucking her. So is Michonne, I guess that's how you say her name. I don't like that lady's acting in the show.
Who?
Like, she's everyone's favorite comic book character, and
Oh, Michonne?
the actress does not do her justice.
No,
Yeah.
she does Michonne justice, because Michonne is exactly the same. They haven't brought in the characters that Michonne interacts with the most that give her that level of humanity yet, but...
Right. I mean, but, like, in the show, like, I know she's kind of secluded, doesn't trust anyone, keeps to herself, but in the show, it's almost to, like, a childish level, and that's what bothers me.
It's not a childish level. They did a really good... flashback to establish who she was. She was, like, secret ops person. So she has to keep things secret, and she realizes that you can only give so much information out before you become a victim of what you've said, and that's what she does. That's why she's so quiet. Is she sits, she listens, and she understands people's weaknesses.
Oh, I just remembered something, Jason. You read the comics, correct?
I still read the comics. I get the new issue when it comes out every time.
Alright, so you know of Tyrese.
Yeah.
Did you know he's coming to the show this
Yeah,
season?
that's why I'm saying they haven't introduced the characters that Michonne warms up to.
Oh, okay.
Because-
Alright, I thought you were like thinking.
Alright, so
no.
since both of you apparently watch the show and read the comic,
But
which characters in the game are present in the show and comic?
Glenn is in the show and the comic.
And Herschel is in the show and in the comic.
And Herschel's in the show and the comic. Lily is actually in the comic. Yeah, she. According to Fragger, she is. He bitched at me about it.
Wait, where is she? Is she what?
Yeah, ask Fragger. He told me, and I don't remember what he said exactly, but he said that she's.
Alright, so did they like make reference to the game at any time, or to like events that happened, or
no? Actually, no.
No.
Since the comic came out first, the game makes references to things characters say in either the show or the comic. Like, Glenn is a pizza delivery guy before the apocalypse, and he says in the show and in the comics, "Man, before this, I was just delivering pizzas." And he actually mentions the fact that he goes in the game. He says he goes to meet his friends in Atlanta. Well, that's how he gets to be in the group in Atlanta in the show.
Oh, okay. But what about Herschel though?
Herschel, you run into his farm, which makes sense because of the geographical locations.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it. You have maybe a 20-minute segment in Herschel's farm. You don't really learn a lot about him.
Question for you, Jason.
Sure.
When you have when Herschel had all the walkers in the barn,
What?
in the show, was Sean one of them?
Was who? Was Sean one of them?
Was Sean one of them? Sean from the
I don't
son?
know.
No.
It wouldn't make sense though.
No.
I want to.
He kept his...
I want to say he was.
He kept his wife, didn't he?
He kept it like any of his family that turned into walkers. He kept.
Yeah. I don't think it was because even in the game... No, he doesn't shoot him in the head. He shoots the zombies.
Yeah, he shot the
No,
zombies,
he
but
doesn't.
Sean was pretty fucked up.
I don't remember. You know what? I really don't look back at season 2 fondly of Walking Dead.
Yeah, I don't look back at any of it except for the last episode because of Herschel's Infinity Shotgun.
Yeah. But
Like I know a lot of people complain about how much ammo he had, but I fucking love that. As like Herschel in a game.
Yeah.
Like playing Doom
I don't
3 or
remember
something.
actually. I'd have to go back and watch the first half of season 2 to be able to tell you that.
That was in the season finale, mid-season finale, I think, right?
Yes, but I think he tells Rick who he actually has in the barn, family-wise, before the mid-season finale.
I think it must be the episode before.
Okay.
Then.
It'd be odd though, wouldn't it? I mean, like Sean's legs were crushed by the tractor.
No, one of his legs was.
Oh yeah, that's true. But that was like the first
But,
moment that really got to me in that game.
You know, if you choose to save Sean,
He doesn't get saved at all. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I'm like,
That's
the option is to save Sean, not
harsh.
just try and then he dies anyway.
yeah. No matter what you do, Sean dies. You can at least save Duck.
Fucking Duck. Like I liked Kenny in the first episode up until that point with Duck and how he just kind of runs away from his problems. And then through every other episode up until episode 5, I fucking hated Kenny for being a dick. And then episode 5
He redeems himself.
is when everyone got to the same level of being a badass as Lee. And I'm like, oh, Kenny, you're so cool.
Yeah.
No, I say Lee's on his own level because he walked up to the Marsh house with the machete, with the giant knife, one arm by himself.
I actually saw something. If he has if you decide not to cut off his arm, he finds a shard of glass on the street. He fucking picks it up with his other hand, his machete in one hand, a shard of glass he squeezes in his other hand so it sticks there, and he just kind of like runs through with a machete and a shard of glass slaying
That's pretty
zombies.
fucking cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like you'd rather after seeing that.
No,
it'd be better
I'd
to
still
keep his
prefer to
arm.
chop his arm off, actually. I know, but
It
still.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
really
It doesn't
make a
help one
difference.
way or the other.
I know, but still, like, I made
Right.
that decision. I'm sticking to it.
All
You know,
right.
by the logic of the show, the actual thing they should have done at the start of episode 5 was cut off his arm. I mean, sorry, the end of episode 4 was cut off his arm. Because if you do it, I think they make a time frame reference within maybe 20, 30 minutes in the comic. If you can remove the limb and keep the person alive, they won't turn.
I don't know. Like, I think in the game,
Well, they do it. No,
that was
they do it to Bill in
like
the
in
comics.
the game. That's clearly earlier in the timeline than the show in the comic.
Uh-huh.
So maybe they just didn't like know that cutting it off.
Actually, no,
Like, they didn't know
no.
about
That's the
timeline
thing.
Or...
Is by the time between episode 1 and episode 2,
It was 2
because
months.
In the beginning of, it was 3 months.
3 months? I thought it was 2 months. Okay.
It was 3 months later. By the time episode 1 happens and ends, Rick is still in his coma. By the time episode 2 starts, Rick is heading towards Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
It's weird to think that. Like, I just thought about it now. It's weird to think that the game and the show are happening at the same
Yeah.
time.
that's why you run into Glenn and all that stuff, because you're seeing Glenn before he gets to Atlanta and meets up with Rick's group, and then...
Right. I mean, that part I understood. I don't know. All right, we've been going on for like a long ass time. I'm tired of talking, and I
Wow,
have to
really?
pee again.
Okay.
All right, we'll
Well,
wrap it up
let's
anyway.
wrap this
well,
up.
dude,
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
yeah, we're boring now.
Wow, way to go, asshole.
Don't call me a fucking asshole, dude. I did cinnamon. I did fucking like 3.
You see, that would have been
tablespoons of
cool
cinnamon.
if you didn't have douchebag sunglasses on.
I take pride in my douchebag
Well,
sunglasses.
you shouldn't. That's the end of the podcast. Bye, everybody.
I do.
Bye!
I love you all. See you later.